Here comes Mr. Nobody walking down the...
Hey everybody, so today, three things. First things first, the guitar tone experiment. I'm not going to reveal it today. I'm recording this early and I really want to try to get as much of the votes in as possible. So either I'm gunning for Wednesday or possibly Thursday. You'll see if you follow me. So if you don't, time to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notified. I will set up a premiere. Or whatever. And I'm like I said, I'm gunning for Wednesday or Thursday around 6:30, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's the best I can do. I got a lot of other stuff on my plate, and I'll set up that once I know better, once I know closer to the day. And we will then go through the entire thing, and you guys can interact with me about it and what you feel. And I can tell you that it is kind of interesting. Like the one that a lot of people have chosen, gonna be surprised what it is when you find out. So that's one thing. Two, Mr. Nobody is I'm releasing it. I have decided I'm just going to, as I can, I'm going to release stuff. I need to get it out and just say it's out, and that's it. So Mr. Nobody is coming out October 1st. I think this video is coming up before that. Either way, October 1st, Mr. Nobody on all streaming sites. And I'm quite excited. It's kind of neat. Spotify actually emailed me and said, "We got your new song. Do you want, you should try to get this on some playlists." And so because I've affiliated myself with all the like Apple, Spotify, YouTube, it's giving me a chance to actually push it further, which is kind of nice, and I'm getting more control. I'm loving it. So if you haven't done that affiliations yet, and you can, do it. That's 2. 3, like and subscribe. We are moving along. Thank you to everybody who has subscribed. You guys are awesome. Like I said, I'm trying to hit 1,000 by the end of the year. Let's make 2020 have some positives. I hope you guys have some positives for it. It's been an interesting year. Yeah, that's where I'm at now. So now that's all out of the way, let's talk about recording. Okay, so we're going to continue on with the internal stuff on the Tascam, the stuff that it comes with, which you should really consider using. So first off, let's go switch over to this. All right, now as you can see, I have the tracks up, so I'm going to go home for a second. I learned something today. I learned something when I tried this out, because I did it before today. But I learned something, which is the whole concept which I thought was you could have one effect on a track and one effect on an input. That is now wrong. Well, it's still right, but it's different. You can actually, if you have an effect on a track, okay, let me rephrase that. You can have two effects on. You can have two effects on two inputs, or one effect on a track and one effect on the input. You can't have two effects on two different tracks. So let me demonstrate. So I have G and H right now, and what we're gonna do. So if you look, so right now you can see I'm using G and H for my inputs for this. And if I go to mixer, currently as you can see I'm on H, and it says insert effect, so it's on, and on G it's also on. That's awesome. So that means that right now the dynamic filter that I am using, or will be using, is currently on G. It's currently on both. It's on G and H. That's awesome. So now if I go to track 1, it doesn't have anything on, but let's go hit the thing. I tried to turn it on and I get an error. Not available. Turn off the guitar effect or use 2 or less dynamic effects. I don't know why it says 2 or less. It should say 1. I don't know. So either way, so let's hit the back button there. So like I said, so now if I go and I turn off, let's just for fun, I will turn off. Why does that turn off? Turn off G, go on to 1. Now I can turn on. So that's just so that you can see that it can be done. So right now I have the compressor on G and H, which, like I said, is awesome because it means that I have to have one less external compressor when I'm recording a band, which is quite nice because I don't have the money to buy another, and I don't have the money to buy another compressor. So that being said, so now we go over to dynamics. Let's go over to dynamics here, and as you can see, I'm gonna turn all this down. I'm gonna start off clean with all this. So we will start. So tax at 0. We're at 2. Ratios at nothing. Threshold is technically should be at 0. Okay, so let's talk about our compressor. Now let's first talk about the tracks that I'm going to be recording. So now we're home. I am going to be recording tracks 6 and 7. Now they're loud. They're loud because that's just what happened to me. So you can see there they're quite high on the register. Now I have them going through the system. Compression is hard to show. It's really hard to it's hard to show because this is the thing with dynamics. Some dynamics you can show, others you really can't. Compression is one of those that you just have to try your best. So I'm going to be putting them to tracks 21, 22. That's where G and H is pointed. So as you can see, GH is pointed to tracks 21, 22. Perfect. And that's what we're going to use to record. So now we go into our dynamics again. So let's talk about the compressor. This is actually a really fun compressor. I've learned so much from just fiddling with it, and I am now going to actually use it. I never did before, but I will use it. So first off, as you can see, I'm on the link button. The link button has the nice thing that what I'm saying is to the compressor is I want you to whatever, if it's on, I'm saying whatever I have this set to, that's for both channels. So if you're doing a keyboard or something where it's more stereo, and you're not really going to fiddle with, it's not like you're doing vocal compression and then you're doing guitar compression. You're doing one compression. So the link is on. Now here's another neat trick about this compression. Okay, so this I thought was cool too. So as you can see, it says input G. So now link is off. If I hit H, I'm now on input H. So at this moment, I have 2 independent compressors working for me here. That's awesome. That's fantastic. And it's right there. I'm not doing anything. I'm not changing a thing. I don't have, it's in the system. I don't have to go out and buy this now. I have 2 compressors at my disposal. That is awesome. So now, if I turn the link on, now you see it says input G and H. So now what it's done is it is now linked G and H to this one compression setting. So I'm fiddling with the compression setting on 2 channels. Like I said, perfect for doing keyboards or something where you're using a stereo mic and you're doing the exact same, you're doing the exact same recording. Now, like for instance, as you know, I always do two different tracks for guitar. So, yeah, like let's say I always try to use 2 different guitars to do the tracks as well. And the reason is because it just gives a different tonal sound on for the other one, even though I'm recording the same style, like the same rhythm, I'm now doing it with two different guitars, giving it a different sound. One might be a little louder than the other. Well, now I can just work on the one side and leave the other one as it is, if I wanted to. So, that being said, so now let's talk about threshold. Threshold is when are you going to get angry and start cutting back on the sound. That's what that's for. So like right now, 0 means that I'm just gonna the gate's wide open. I'm letting everything through. And as you go down, you're saying, okay, this is right here. I'm going to say this is minus dB or minus 10. That's where I'm going to start cutting back and say, okay, you know what? You're getting a little loud. Let's just cut back. Now that's not going to do anything at the moment. So like as you can see, it's on. So I'll put it back where it was, and we will play the beginning again. Oh, hang on. Let me do that again. I have to hit record. Okay, let's do that again. So as you can see, threshold did nothing, and it did nothing because nothing else has been set. Everything else is normal. So now I'll leave the threshold as it is, and we'll play with the ratio. The ratio is kind of like how much do you want to knock it down kind of thing. So it goes by, it's like right now it's at 1:1. Now once again, you can see it didn't do anything. And the reason it didn't do anything is because the threshold is at 0, so it's just letting everything through. So we're going to put the ratio. We're going to go change the threshold. Put it to. We'll just do minus 15, so halfway. And now we'll fiddle with the ratio. So now you can see it's leveling the sound out, like it's taking it down, and it's now leveling it down. So it's where we want it to be. That's, it's saying, okay, well, I just want it here. I want it this level. And the reason it's doing that is because right now the attack is at 0 or at 2 milliseconds. So that means as soon as the threshold is hit, within 2 milliseconds, the attack will knock it down. And the release is 10 milliseconds, so that means that once it's let go, like once it's gone below the threshold again, like it's now at a manageable level, then the release will say, okay, well now I'm just going to open up and let it flow through. So now I'll show how that works. So we'll exaggerate it, so we will go as long as we can here. I don't know if I can do the release the same way. We'll do the attack first. So now if you listen, you'll hear the music, like you hear the guitar spike and then come down. So let's do that again. Now it's probably better if I put the ratio all the way up, and then you can hear it better. Yeah, there, you can hear it better with that. So you can hear it hit and then went down. So now let's take the threshold down even further, and you should be able to see it even more. Yeah, see, go up, down. Oh, I hit it. No, we'll go down. So that's how that works. Now you have the release is the same, but it's the other side. You're saying now once you get below the threshold, I will open up and I will let you be free and be loud as you want, because you're not being annoying anymore. And so these are kind of fiddle with them as you want, and then try them out. Now gain is to bring back the volume. That's all. That's what it does. It brings back the volume. So you're saying, okay, because you've now like knocked it down, and you want it to be at a nice level spot for the gain. So I'm gonna knock the threshold down. Let's see. All right, so you can hear it. It does what I want. Actually, I'm going to bring it up a bit because it's a little nasty. Oops, what'd I do? Oh, I hit jog play. It's the problem when you're trying to play, you're trying to work stuff from this one screen, and because I can't really see the screen all that well because I had to dim it to make it look good on video, and then I hit the wrong button. So let's just play that again. So now you can see, you can see now because I've slowed the release that I've made it pretty. Now if we look, like it's keeping it level. It's not going out. It's not going crazy. So now if you look at it on the screen, so watch 6 and 7, and then look at 21, 22. So you can see that it has gone down. Like it is now definitely, it's definitely down. So now what I want to do, now what you need to do is, well, I got to bring it up. So now we go back to our dynamics. I have to clean that. And then play it, and gain will bring it, it's just kind of like turning up the volume again. So there, I've got it close to the other ones, and that makes it easier to do. So that's today's video. Once again, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.